Hey, Kendall. How's everyone doing?
Hey, Kelly.
Good. Um, Welcome to our virtual session for the Department of Kinesiology. So to kind of give you an overview of tonight, and then I'll let everyone introduce yourselves. My name is Kelly Zill. I'm the director of the College of Health and Human Performance Advising Center. We have some faculty members here tonight. We have some advisors here tonight. We have students here tonight. So we're going to briefly go over the majors in the Department of Kinesiology, which consists of a BS in Exercise Physiology and a BS in Physical Education, teacher prep. And then we'll kind of open it up for questions, and you guys can ask questions about the major. You can ask questions about ECU, um, whatever it may be. So I'm going to mute myself, and I will let our faculty and advisor introduce themselves, and then our students introduce themselves, and then we'll get started.
I'll start. My name is Tony Koulis, and I'm the department chair for the kinesiology.
I'm Lisa Fredrickson. I'm the Exercise Physiology Program Coordinator.
And
Denasia, do you want to go next?
Yeah, so my name is Denasia. I am one of the academic advisors for the exercise physiology major.
Kendall and Drew.
Hey guys, my name's Kendall. I am a senior applied exercise physiology major student graduating in May.
Hey everyone, I'm Drew. I'm a senior at ECU and I'm majoring in physical education.
And Vanessa's here too. I just saw her. So, Vanessa, do you want to introduce yourself?
I'm Vanessa Bright. I'm an advisor for physical education majors.
All right. I am going to turn it over to Dr. Poulos now.
all right. Can you? It says I'm sharing it, but can you see the slides or no?
We can, or I can't.
You cannot.
No, I can. You're good.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. I will start, and we have uh, several different programs, as we had already mentioned. A little bit of a quick overview. When we think about what kinesiology is, essentially all of our degree programs have something to do with studying and promoting how humans move. So whether it's biomechanics or exercise physiology or physical education, we ask these types of questions. How do we move? Why do we move? What happens when we move? And how do we teach others how to move as well? And we apply this to a variety of different populations, physically active populations, as well as athletes and things like that as well. So, in a nutshell, this kind of encapsulates really what our department and all of its degree programs are all about. Lisa, do you want to start here?
Perfect. So I am Lisa Fredrickson, like I mentioned earlier, and I'm the program coordinator for the Exercise Physiology degree within the Department of Kinesiology. So if you'll just go to the next slide
Yep.
for me, Tony. Thanks. One more. Thank you. So when we think about exercise physiology, it's kind of a broad topic, actually. When we talk about exercise physiology, we are looking at how the body responds to physical activity, sport, and exercise. How does your body respond both acutely and chronically? So how does that impact health? How do we prevent disease? How do we treat disease once disease has occurred? And then also, how do we improve performance? So within the exercise physiology program, what really sets our program apart is that you actually get to learn from some of the top researchers and faculty within the field. All of your classes are taught for the most part by our professors and our teaching faculty that have real world experience, or they're really renowned in the field. So that's a really nice feature that we offer. We also have 2 concentrations within the degree that I'll go over here in a minute. We have our pre-health concentration and our applied exercise physiology concentration, which is actually a merger between the health fitness specialist degree and exercise physiology. So depending on when you had looked at ECU, you might have seen the health fitness specialist degree. We have now merged to 1 degree. Regardless of which concentration you choose, both concentrations share a common core across the curriculum. So everyone will take biomechanics, exercise physiology. You'll get all your prescription courses for exercise, so a resistance training course, an exercise prescription for healthy populations, and then clinical populations. And we'll also talk some psychology with exercise adherence and lifestyle modification. Our pre-health professions concentration is really geared for those students who want to go on to those pre-professional programs. So we're looking at those students who want to go on to physical therapy school, occupational therapy school, med school, dental school. And so those pre-professional programs typically require students to take additional science courses as part of their 4-year degree. And so what we've done is we've built those additional prereqs into our degree. So depending on which professional track you want to follow after graduation, kind of dictates which additional science courses you will need. And so that's already built into the 120 credit hours you need to graduate. So you don't have to worry about taking an additional year or a really heavy course load to be able to meet those pre-professional school requirements while you're a student. So those are going to be your typical organic chems, your microbiologies, your physics. You might need an extra psychology, and then your medical terminology. And so what separates ECU's pre-health professions concentration in ex-phys apart from others is kind of the kinesiology spin we put on it. So we're going to give you a little bit deeper understanding of physiology by having you take an advanced exercise physiology course. We're also going to teach you how to read and interpret ECGs and how to run stress tests. So looking at that heart rhythm in real time, like you would have to do in like a physical therapy setting or a medical setting. And then we're also going to give you some research in exercise physiology. And I know that can sound a little scary, but research can be anything from looking at a microscope at muscle cells, cardiac cells, or it could be all the way to working with pregnant women, working with our first responders, working with the biomechanics lab, and doing something with the baseball team or the military. So lots of really cool avenues for research happen in the field of exercise physiology. After that, on our pre-health concentration, you'll round out your degree with electives that you can choose based on what you're interested in. Then we have our applied concentration, and this was formerly our health fitness specialist degree. So we took the best world from exercise physiology, or other concentration, and the best of health fitness specialists, and we merged them together to create this applied concentration. And so this is really geared towards those students who want to go on and perhaps become strength and conditioning coaches, work as more of a personal trainer, corporate wellness, something like a cardiac rehab. And so in this concentration, you take some specific courses to get you introduced to different professional careers that you can take outside of those pre-health professions. We talk about physical activity across the lifespan. We teach you how to become a group exercise instructor through our group exercise leadership course. And then you round out your degree with an internship. So this would be a 12 credit hour internship that you would take. And we've placed interns in Australia. We've placed them in Texas, in North Carolina. So your internship can take whatever format you like or whatever location you like, as long as it kind of meets those requirements for exercise physiology and ultimately helps you with your career goal. So some careers in exercise physiology, it is a very, very broad field. And so coming in, we'd like you to keep an open mind as to all of the career opportunities you have, but also it's a good thing there are some of these career opportunities for you. So if you decide late that, hey, maybe physical therapy isn't for me, there still are tons of other career opportunities for you. So you can become a health fitness specialist, you can become a wellness coordinator, research associates, strength and conditioning coaches or performance coaches. You can become you can work in the orthopedic industry, the pharma industry, any type of medical device sales, cardiac, pulmonary, oncology, rehab, respiratory therapy, and you can also become a health and wellness coach. You can be a fitness manager, a personal trainer. So lots and lots of opportunities for careers in exercise physiology, just depending on what you're interested in and really what your strengths are, right? What kind of job do you want after graduation?
I can take that. Is Jeff here? I don't think he is. With our BS in physical education, this is currently a licensure track degree program. And so when you graduate with a degree in physical education, this allows you to teach PE. Students with this degree in general, you're going to get a lot of practical teaching experiences, and it's built through the 4-year plan of study. And like Lisa was just talking about with internship opportunities, the PE has this as well. And we place people at different schools to get a rich experience to round out your degree. And again, you receive a 4-year degree and in North Carolina teaching license in health and physical education. This program has been around for quite some time overall. We fulfill all the requirements to allow people to become licensed to teach physical education in the state. The EdTPA is basically a teacher preparation framework that most of the states use for licensure. And, since 2015, our pass rate has been over 90%. And the average scores generally meet or exceed the state and national standards as well. Given the good thing about PE is that the job placement, the employment rate is excellent overall with our graduates. Recently, or going back for the last 8 to 10 years, we do like to highlight a lot of our alumni who have not only graduated from the degree program, but they've really become outstanding teachers in physical education or adaptive physical education throughout the years. Laura Brickhouse, Stephen Allard, Samantha McCumbee, Amanda Galwacki, and Liz Taylor most recently. One thing you'll notice, this last one, Liz Taylor was NC Shape Student Major of the Year, and that's a state organization, subset of the national Shape organization as well. Our students, really in all of our degree programs, but especially PE, get a rich experience traveling, going to different conferences, and that leads us into the different opportunities that our PE majors have. And you can see Drew in here. He's in here. He's on the Zoom call tonight as well. He can speak to these experiences really well. But this past December, we had probably maybe 15 students. How many was it, Drew, altogether, do you think, went to NC Shape?
We had 16 students total.
16, close. There are all these great opportunities for our students, and it's really great. We try to promote them with all our degree programs, but it's really great for our students to see their professional world outside of the ECU bubble. So while we're pretty proud of the programs that we offer, getting involved at state or regional or national organizations, those opportunities are there for all of our students. Lisa, do you want to do this? Do you want me to do it? I can do the strength and conditioning if you want.
It doesn't matter, your choice.
Okay. If I missed something, let me know, please. One of the slides that we had as part of the exercise physiology degree is that had all the different fields people can work in. Becoming a strength and conditioning specialist was one of them. This is a new minor, new this year, and it allows people, when they complete this minor, to be able to sit for the national boards to become a certified strength and conditioning specialist. This requirement is going to be a requirement for all programs nationally, but it's not until 2030. We're going to be applying for our accreditation early in hopes that we can just kind of knock that out, because we've been already offering most of the coursework associated with this already as part of the exercise physiology degree. And so the strength and conditioning minor is essentially built in. There's room in the program for exercise physiology to be able to complete this if you think you want to do this and graduate on time as well. So this is one of the offerings that I think we have that is going to have a lot of appeal, simply because if you think you want to come to school here and become a physical therapist as a professional program, and you're in the exercise physiology pre-health, I think these types of certifications will help expand your repertoire as well. And from time to time, people make a decision, say, I don't want to do physical therapy anymore. They might fall in love with something else within the degree that they're in. And the way we have it situated right now is that when you graduate with a 4-year degree, if you complete this minor, you'll be able to sit for those national boards for the strength and conditioning specialist as well. So it's a really nice minor that we have, and it gives students just another thing that they can kind of move into if they feel passionate about it. So I kind of get ahead of myself a little bit here. I'm an athletic trainer myself. I'm not practicing, but I know in the field of athletic training, having both certifications with a strength and conditioning specialist is extremely appealing to a lot of universities, particularly smaller universities as well, when you can kind of do two different things. But this could also apply if you were a PE major, or you were wanting to go to physical therapy school and you're in the pre-health concentration in our department. There are opportunities there for you to complete this minor as, again, something else that you can put on your resume as well when you graduate. So when we look at the course requirements, for this minor, some of these classes, the top 3, are already embedded into our degree program, particularly exercise physiology. The last 4 are the 4 classes that actually make up the minor, and they are specific classes to strength and conditioning, and then a practicum. And the practicum is a hands-on experience overall. So this minor is kind of part of, it becomes a part or an add-on of a degree program, particularly exercise physiology. It's set really well up for you to do that. So in general, how do you get into this for this minor? This typically comes, after someone's sophomore year, typically, because it's based on the credit hours completed, 60. And obviously you had to declare a major as well, such as exercise physiology, and you have to have a GPA of 2.5 or above. Like most types of programs like this, whether it's athletic training, physical therapy, and now strength and conditioning, they all require some form of observation hours for you to complete with someone who's strength and conditioning specialist. That just helps you and helps us to know, like, this is truly what you want to do, and you want to pursue this. Mr. Dave Kemble is the program director for this. And it's, if you have any questions, you can please feel free to reach out to him. But we thought this was an excellent program that we've added on to into our department, and it fits really well with our degree program offerings. Marty, go ahead.
One thing on that strength and conditioning minor, if
Yes.
you're truly thinking now that you want to become a strength and conditioning coach, you can go ahead and start getting those 20 observation hours. Same
Yes.
thing if you're thinking of physical therapy school or athletic training school, go ahead and start shadowing now. In the summers or while you're still in high school, sometimes it might be easier to get those observation hours in. And then that just either solidifies this is the career choice for you, or, oh no, I'm not quite sure what I want to do. But then we can help you with more of that career exploration.
Yeah. As I've said before, when we were looking at the PE degree, all of our majors, in all degree programs, have opportunities to go to local, state, and national conferences. As a department chair today, I was just going over with our administrative assistant how we're going to be supporting a bunch of students to go to the Southeast American College of Sports Medicine, or ACSM conference in Greenville, South Carolina, later on this month. So we like to support our students in these degree programs with at least one opportunity per year, and that's always been good. And we have students that are in undergraduate programs in our department, in master's and PhD programs, and all of the students work together, and then they go to the conference together, and it's usually a great time, and it's great for networking overall. And this is something our department's always been wanting to support for our students, these types of opportunities. So with study abroad, this coming spring or summer, spring, it's May, I think, when they're going. We have a trip that is going to be going to the UK. And study abroad is an opportunity for students to obviously leave the country. And a lot of study abroad opportunities follow a theme. And the theme for this one is going to be more sports science related. And so they will be touring facilities, getting to know what sports scientists do overall and things like that. Study abroad opportunities are fantastic opportunities for students. And it also allows you to achieve college credit for doing the study abroad opportunity as well. Overall, in our department, and after we're done here, we can turn this over to Kendall and Drew a little bit to talk about their opportunities that they had as undergraduates. But all of our undergraduate students have a lot of different opportunities to either engage in a community service learning project or research opportunity that involves the community. And our department is pretty big on supporting student interests who want to have a research experience. As Lisa had said earlier, sometimes undergraduate students or prospective undergraduate students think research is one thing, but it's a wide variety of things. As a department chair, I personally think any research experience for undergraduate students is an excellent opportunity for you to learn how to be a better problem solver. You're going to have to be good at your time management skills. And of course, it's an opportunity to expand on what you've learned in the classroom in a research environment. And those research experiences can vary. our faculty love having undergraduate and graduate students in our labs. It's a fantastic learning environment, and you kind of, a lot of them, really grow close together, the students, and it's also a great resume builder, especially if you want to go to PT school, athletic training, these post-professional programs. Having a research experience is an excellent resume builder as well. Even if you don't want to be a researcher, we think the skills that going through this process teaches is really excellent for our students. You want to talk about the Kinesiology Majors Club, Lisa?
Yeah, so we have a Kinesiology Majors Club, which is a great opportunity for students who are interested in anything related to kinesiology to just get involved with people who have similar interests. So as part of the Kinesiology Majors Club, there's a monthly meeting that you attend, and then there's social get-togethers, there's some community outreach, some community service that goes involved with being a member of a club, and also some conference opportunities and some great networking opportunities. So it really is a great opportunity for students to just be involved, to make friends with people who have similar interests as you, people who are going to be in most of your same classes, but then also to get some things on your resume as far as extracurricular involvement on campus.
And as we had mentioned earlier, we already talked about the strength and conditioning minor. We do have a minor in exercise and sports science as well. Obviously, if you come to our department and enroll and declare in one of our degrees, typically you wouldn't choose the exercise and sports science minor, but the strength and conditioning minor was purposely developed that would blend really well with our other degree offerings. And so with this last slide, this is really what we're working on right now in our department. These programs have not officially been approved right now, but they are moving through the process, and I am personally hopeful. And the sport performance science, we're going to be having a Bachelor of Science in Sport Performance Science. It really complements what we're doing in exercise physiology in PE really well. Remember in the beginning slide, I said that everything we talk about in our undergraduate degree programs relates to, how humans move. And this is no different. It will be geared towards individuals who don't want to go into healthcare, and that's fine, but they do want to be involved in sports, but they like the science, data analytics types of courses. This degree program, if it is approved and on its track, it will be available in the fall of 2025. We don't have anything on our website yet. We can't have anything on our website yet until it gets fully approved, but it's anticipated that it will be approved hopefully by the end of the semester, if not the beginning part of the summer. And the other exciting thing that we've been working on is the BS in Physical Education degree program that I just shared with you. We're going to add a non-licensure track on it, or concentration, with coaching science. So everything I talked to you about PE earlier was licensure track for people who want to teach PE in the high schools. But this one would be a non-licensure track, and it's geared towards people who want to get into coaching science and things like that. So, keep in touch with our website and social media, because I know once these things do become official, we'll be sending out some blasts that these are another degree program and another concentration within an existing degree program that we will be able to offer. And lastly, when you come to ECU, if you come to ECU and you enroll in a program within our department, our faculty are really awesome. Our students are really awesome. Everyone helps each other out really well. I'm not going to read this verbatim, but the nice thing about our degree programs is of course, you're going to have some bigger general education classes to meet your general education requirements. But when you really get into our degree programs, especially after you declare, the classes become smaller. Faculty remember your name, and it's a real. We have a lot of opportunities for students, and our faculty love it when students want to get involved and do more things outside of their class as well. And so with that, before there's any questions, Kendall and Drew, do you want to talk about the opportunities that you had throughout your careers here as an undergraduate student? Kendall, you can go first, and then Drew will go.
I'll try my best to keep it brief because if you really let me go, this could take a long time, but
Put you on a timer.
So I have had so many opportunities while being a student here. My sophomore year, I got help through student government in the kinesiology department to be part of a group that went to the International Health and Fitness Summit in Virginia. So I got to network with career professionals, some really great people. I got to try out Gatorade sweat patches, new workouts, learn about sleep and how to work on your soft skills with clients. So some really professional skills there. Since then, I have also had the opportunity to get involved in research. Right now, I am finishing up actually my research on the barriers to resistance training in college women because through another opportunity for a past internship that the faculty here actually pushed me to do, I fell in love with weightlifting and I've through that learned not many other college women have the same perspective. And while that is something that has changed over the years, I wanted to know why in college we aren't doing that. So there will be more to come on that. I've got all my data and I'm working on finishing that. But I will say, as someone who is going to physical therapy school this summer, it was a great thing to talk about in my interview. So I really recommend research. And with research, they tell you, get involved early, get involved early. They mean it. It's not something we just say. I didn't get involved till the end of my junior year, and boy, do I wish maybe end of sophomore year at least that I'd kind of honed in on a professor or what I wanted to do. And then being an applied exercise physiology major, I of course have my internship, which I'm actually at right now. I'm in my little back room. So some cool stuff I get to for example, just today I personal trained two different clients. I taught a group fitness class. I'm getting to work the fitness floor, the front desk, which has really opened my eyes to a perspective of fitness that we don't see a lot. We work with a little bit of an older population here. So learning, because we can't all go work with, professional athletes in those major leagues. And I think I've gotten the chance to see on a day-to-day how we can impact the lives of some of our more senior population. And I've been really interested in that. So the biggest thing that I have to say at the end of all this is that the faculty here truly see you as individuals. Introduce yourself to every professor, and they will invest as much in you as they can. I've been pushed to internships, summits, jobs, to things that I wouldn't have thought that I could do that have turned out to be the reason I've been able to get into PT school to be where I am today. So truly invest in yourself, invest in the people around you, and they'll invest in you back. And I think that's one of my favorite things about this campus and the people around here is you're truly an individual to them. But I'll stop yammering. But I'm gonna send the ambassadors, we have an Instagram. I have it this week, so if my life seemed kind of interesting, you can follow me throughout my week as well as all the other students will have it too.
Okay, Drew, thank you, Kendall.
All right, I'm not going to talk as long as Kendall because, she's the kinesiology student. But I'm Drew. I'm a physical education major, and throughout my years here at ECU, I've had the opportunity to present at the state, regional, and national level conferences. So most recently, back in December, I presented as a head presenter at NC Shape, which is the state organization for physical education. And previously, in years before that, I was able to go to Seattle and present at the national conference, which is called Shape America. And we're trying to present almost every year at our state level, and hopefully national level. Hopefully next year, if you're interested in PE, you'll be able to go to the national conference. But it's just basically that's basically it. So I've just been through ECU, been able to attend multiple conferences and do professional development and networking through these conferences, learning all about PE and how to be the best educator it can possibly be. But one of the most important things that I have had at ECU that like I was pushed to do for my for my teachers was becoming a coach. And luckily this semester I was able to get an assistant coaching job at a high school in Greenville for girls soccer, and that's just been excellent like experience so far, and I love it.
Awesome. Thank you, Drew. Questions?
Yes, Kendall put it in the chat, but I just wanted to kind of reiterate that if you're interested in athletic training and being an athletic trainer at like the high school level, most of those jobs require a teaching licensure degree. So that PE is a great option for athletic training.
Yes. There was one question in the chat. What is your graduates' acceptance rates to physical therapy or occupational therapy schools? I don't know. We have a percentage because the actual track that we generally use is the pre-health track. But quite honestly, it's hard, and we just started with that. Previously to that, it would be on the student to fulfill their physical therapy requirements. And those other classes on their own, and then like organic chem and things like that, and then finish their exercise physiology degree, and then they would apply. So we actually had some people that applied and we didn't even realize it as well. But I will say on any given year, I know last year, 2 out of the 3 of my undergraduate students that worked with me in the lab, one of them got into physical therapy school right off the bat, and one of them got into physician's assistant school right off the bat. So they got accepted before they even graduated. This program has been very successful overall. Lisa, did you have any other things to add with that?
Yeah, I can add a little bit more. Like Tony said, it's very hard for us to get concrete data with the way everything is tracked right now. I can tell you some very unofficial statistics last year for those students that we knew about that got in. It was about 15% of our group last year got in, of our graduating seniors that applied that year. A lot of students had opted to take a gap year and then apply. And that's where it gets sticky, is trying to follow up with those students during that gap year if they are applying. But typically we do hear really positive things about those students who do meet the GPA requirements and all of the shadowing hours of getting into PT school or other pre-professional programs. As long as they've kind of had that GPA requirement, we do have a really solid reputation for producing good quality graduates that have a solid foundation in physiology, anatomy and physiology, biomechanics. They've got some extracurricular research experience that is really unique to ECU. And so we really pride ourselves on that.
Lisa, there's a question in here about OT and opportunities. Can you speak to that at all?
We have several students. I have several in my class right now that want to go on to be occupational therapists. And so we do send students to internships for occupational therapy. I know several of our students actually end up with occupational therapy aid type jobs at the hospital or some of the outlying clinics. Those tend to be a little bit easier for our students to secure than like a PT aid in Greenville, at least. So there's still a lot of opportunities for occupational therapy within our degree. And then we do have some really cool research that goes on in the department. When we think about occupational therapy, there's a lot of brain involvement with occupational therapy. And so we've got some really great researchers that do a lot of that neuro and visual motor type of research, which is a really good experience for our students who want to go on to occupational therapy school. Some of those students have gone on with this faculty member to conferences. We sent one to Harvard to go present some of the data she was collecting. Some of them went to Arizona. So really neat opportunities for students, but especially those with occupational therapy interests.
Yep.
And I'm gonna, oh, sorry, I was gonna
Go ahead,
follow up and have maybe Denasia talk about the Pre-Professional Advising Center and the support they provide for students interested in professional programs.
Yeah.
Yeah, so as advisors, we do help students with their academic journeys, but students that are specifically interested in those pre-professional programs, so PT, med school, dental school, occupational therapy, physician's assistant. I know they have some chiropractic somewhere in there too. For those students, we do work hand in hand with the Pre-Professional Advising Center. So while you can have a major advisor, which will be me if you're exercise physiology, you could also have an advisor for your pre-professional interests. So if you were interested in OT or PT, you could have a PT advisor, and that advisor would basically kind of help you get prepared to start looking into the schools you're interested in, making sure you're meeting those prerequisite requirements. They can help you with any preparation for exams. Um, what else? There's just a lot of opportunities for them to help you get prepared for the application process. Um, there are different events and different things that they host on campus for students that are interested in pre-professional programs. Um, they have a listserv. So for those students who are interested, we highly recommend having that advisor as well as your major advisor so that we can make sure that you're getting prepared well in advance so that you're not scrambling at the last minute like your junior or senior year trying to get all those prerequisites or requirements, shadowing hours or anything like that that you'll need for those schools.
Thank you. One thing that also helps the advisors, and I know this, is that when students figure out what they want to do, and the earlier you know, obviously, the better. If the goal is to graduate in 4 years, but we certainly understand people have gone journeys and they might switch. That's where it's going to be really important to talk to your advisors to if you need to pivot away and things like that. So that's what the advisors are here for as well. One of the questions, a couple of questions related to research opportunities. So how do you get involved with the research opportunities for PET or just in general? So I will say, and then there's another research related question, like when would you get involved with it? I've had students work with me in a lab that I work in from their sophomore year all the way through their senior year. I've had students work with me from their junior and senior years, and a couple just with senior years. And so it really does vary from faculty member to faculty member. I will say that faculty members are really encouraging, as are the other students that work in those labs, for students to get involved. And it really comes down to introducing yourself to the professor, saying, I would like to learn a little bit more about what you do, and things like that. Obviously, when you come as a freshman, we do want to make sure you're getting good grades and you're getting off on the right foot and things like that. So there's no expectation that you have to get involved as a freshman. Some people want to, and that's okay as well. But we don't have any formal policy restrictions. We're pretty open to when students want to be able to get involved, they get involved. And I will lastly say about research experiences, I have 3 kids that are 15, 17, and 19. I think research experiences are great at giving kids structure in addition to their programs. And some students need structure more than others to stay on track and things like that. But it's like a little cohort of students and friends that you become really close with throughout your research experiences as well, which I think is fantastic.
Teach a class where we talk about a whole lot of ways to get involved at ECU and a whole lot of resources that are available to you. I know it can be a little intimidating to just reach out to your professors, and so we try to bridge that gap and make it a little less intimidating as far as how do you reach out to get involved.
Your
More
audio.
than happy.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's back.
I'm more than happy. I don't know where it cut out at, but anyway, we we do our best to help you make those connections if you want to
Yes.
get involved in research. I know it can be intimidating to reach out, but I'm more than happy to bug our faculty with, hey, Denasia wants to be involved in research. She really likes what you're doing. Can you set up a time to meet with her?
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. What other questions are there?
There is a question that says, is it possible to do both concentrations, pre-health and applied, with a minor in strength and conditioning? Just trying to think about how to best position myself for a good job if I need to take a gap year before PT or OT school. I mean, the pre-health concentration will still prepare you for jobs if you wish to take a gap year. It's more designed for students who want to go to grad school. And I think that's probably the best answer, but I'll let Lisa kind of answer on that too.
Yeah. You can get, maybe if I'm
You
understanding
can't do
correctly.
both concentration. Sorry,
Yeah.
I'll make that clear. You
Yeah.
can't do, it's just 1 degree.
Yeah, you'll pick the concentration, and then yes, the strength and conditioning minor will fit in either concentration. So you can be pre-health with a minor in strength and conditioning, or you could be applied with a minor in strength and conditioning. You could also be PE with a minor in strength and conditioning. I hope we answered that. If
So
not,
at the undergraduate level right now, we offer a licensure for PE, so you could teach right away, and we offer when you complete the minor in strength and conditioning, you can sit for a national board exam. And so you said just thinking of the best way to position myself for a good job. When you sit for these national boards like the CSCS. That does give you a credential that you could work with your undergraduate degree. So, and some people, they make their career change and say, I don't want to do PT anymore. I really like this. But at the same time, it's also a fantastic add-on. If you were to get into PT school and have a dual credential, it's really good for you there overall. I would think that, and I don't know this because I don't know if we have statistics on this, a lot of students who take gap years are most likely students who may have switched their majors at some point late in the game, and they might not have all the prerequisites done for PT school or something like that. And that's where the gap year comes into play, I would say, a lot of the time. And as Lisa had mentioned, all of the applicants for pre-professional schools, PT, physician's assistant, OT, everyone has good GPAs that apply. And so with our additional offerings in the department, whether it's the minor in strength and conditioning, whether it's having a good research experience that Kendall had spoken about, and she said she used that for her interview. These things I think are essential to help set you apart from everyone else who has a very good or excellent GPA as well. And I think that's where our department is really good at preparing students to have well-rounded applications on top of our advisors helping them. But of course, the earlier a student knows what they want to do, the better it is. But I also acknowledge that I think I changed my major. I know I did when I was an undergraduate. So that happens, and that's okay.
If you guys even have questions just about ECU in general, like, what's the culture like? What are the athletics like? Are there good places to eat? Or if you're coming to ECU in the fall and you're starting to look at residence hall, Drew and Kendall are really great resources for that as well.
I will also say, having a 19-year-old, sup dogs, all right. Having a 19-year-old who's a freshman here, she grew up in Greenville. We live in Greenville, and she always thought she would go away and She applied and got into NC State and other schools. In the end, she really liked the opportunities that she had available to her here. She's not in our department. She's in a different major altogether on campus. But when it came down to it, ECU in general, faculty are really welcoming for opportunities for their students at some other schools. You might not get those same opportunities until maybe you're a junior or even senior. So I think that's something that sets ECU apart from a lot of other schools as well overall.
Ooh, we just got a lot of questions coming at once. So um, let's start with the first one. Caroline asks, this will be for Drew and Kendall. What residence hall would you suggest for freshmen? And you can kind of explain how they have it set up on campus, like depending on where you want to be. Drew or Kendall?
Yeah, as far as how the process goes, that was scary far away from me. I think you really can't go wrong in the dorm process. The way that they do it, the way that I did it, at least, you can find your roommate or go random, and then you rank the halls. I lived in Green Hall. I lived on West End, which is going to be more down on main campus. And then you got College Hill, which is more up towards the stadium. It's kind of a matter of like, well, what your interests are. I'm in the honors college, so I had no choice. It was Green Hall, and that's it. But I mean, I'm a West End girl for life, but I think that there's really no bad option when it comes to living situation. I think that like they're all good. You're not gonna end up somewhere and say what's going on. So I think they should have virtual dorm tours that you can look at before you rank, but it's kind of just looking at campus and seeing what's
Yeah, and the way they have the residence hall, so it depends on where you want to be. If you want to be close to like Minji's on the athletic side, there's College Hill. If you want to kind of be there's Central Campus, if you want to be in the middle of everything and able to get to your classes easier, and then West is closer more to the downtown area. Um, Summer asked, how could I get involved with club sports? And Vanessa answered, there is an organizational fair right before the first day of fall classes. I don't know if Kendall, you or Drew have ever done club sports. I know Vanessa did club rugby when she was a grad student
I
here.
did club running for one day.
Hmm.
Well,
But
I never did club sports, but we have intramural sports too, which are just
yeah,
as fun but less commitment. So
Yeah.
the intramural sports are through the rec center, and it's a really good way to make friends and participate in the sports you love without being fully committed to being like an athlete, and you're able to focus more on your college but still have fun playing sports. If that is something.
Yeah. If you want to do club sports and you have an annual appointment with your doctor before you get here, get a physical because you'll need one.
somebody asked, what would be the best classes path to take after finishing my undergraduate to go into athletics training? So really either concentration has all of the courses that you need for athletic training. Because for athletic training, you need like college algebra and stats, which are part of our gen eds and cognates. You need Gen Chem 1 and 2, which both concentrations require. And then you have to have one level of physics and I think anatomy and physiology, 2 semesters of anatomy and physiology, and then I believe Vanessa may know more. Well, Tony obviously would know a lot too. um, maybe a physiology of exercise and a biomechanics as well.
Yes, that's a requirement for some, but I don't think all programs. I
Okay.
think the best advice is number one, a lot of the prerequisite courses for athletic training master's programs are very similar to PT or OT. But this, I can't emphasize enough to contact your advisor and just say, look, I think I want to go here. And the advisors can be like, let's look at the prereqs for that particular school. And if we know that, you pick 3 or 4 different schools at once and say, I think I want to go here, we can start planning. Again, the coursework will be similar. There, some athletic training classes do require a biomechanics or exercise physiology class. I don't think all of them do, but lucky for you, if you're in kinesiology, you in an exercise physiology major, you'd be taking those classes as part of your degree program anyways. But the best advice, because every graduate school has some slightly small different nuances, to if you think you want to go athletic training, I definitely think the degree programs, the pre-health professions is great route for that. But in general, you'll need to try to identify which schools you think you want to go to, and then your advisors can work with you. And again, that's the earlier the better, if you think you want to do that.
Yeah, I had a student the other day, and he wants to do athletic training, but also wanted to do the strength and conditioning minor. And so we looked up the school where he wanted to do athletic training. I'm like, oh, you don't need this extra physics, or, this extra, I don't, there was one other class, chemistry, for athletic training on this track. Why don't we switch you to applied? And that way your internship can count as your practicum hours with strength. It was just a better fit. So we don't want to have you take, extra work if you don't have to. So that's why it's really good to communicate that with us.
I will say, if you want to become an athletic trainer, having that CSCS minor, or if you think you want to be an athletic trainer at high school, the PE degree option is both of those are great. I know a lot of athletic trainers who were hired as athletic trainers and strength and conditioning specialists in the field because they had both credentials. So it's a great combination to have.
We've mentioned talking to your advisor. We truly have the best advisors at ECU. Nasia, Vanessa, and Kelly are truly the best, and they truly care about you. So, and we do as faculty as well. So just let them know or your faculty know what your career goals are. If something changes, just communicate. Because if we don't know, we can't really help you as best we could, or we can't get you the resources that you might need or might be beneficial. So, just know that everybody in kinesiology is here to help you and really wants the best for your education and your educational experience. So please just communicate with everyone.
We did have a question. It says, would you say it is harder to be an athlete at ECU rather than just doing a club sport, along with taking an ex-phys major that would prepare you for physical therapy? Yeah, I mean, I think being an athlete, college athlete is difficult no matter what. They work really hard, and I'm really proud of all of our athletes. We do have quite a few athletes across all sports and all of our majors, including exercise physiology and physical education. So we do a great job of working with the athletic advisor in planning classes to make sure, it's not something they need doesn't run into a practice time. We do a great job of also communicating with the athletic advisor about, what what's going on with the student, when are they in season, when are you off season, so that we can maybe plan lighter course loads that particular semester. So yeah, it's just like a really good team approach. As an incoming freshman, you also have a lot of support with the athletic academic office because they do tutoring and require tutoring. They have their own tutoring center. So I think I'm not going to tell you it's easy being an athlete because they do work really hard, but it is doable, and we do have a lot of athletes in our major.
One of my previous students who I said got into physician's assistant school was the track and field athlete here last year, and he was an awesome student, and he was a great athlete as well. Time management skills will be improved if you're one of those people, but it can be done.
Somebody asked, is there a way to change your major before you get here? Yes. If you just email our advising center, I'm going to drop that in the chat. It's just hhpadvising@ecu.edu. We can help you with that. And it looks like Drew was talking to William about PE. So awesome. Oh, he can connect with you. Did I miss any questions? I was trying to go through.
I'm gonna jump in real quick. We have, if you're considering ECU or you'd like to come visit us, we do have a couple in-person academic dates coming up. Our next one well, we have one event coming up February 21st, but if you get on the admissions website, you can find those dates, or I'm happy to drop my email in and email you those dates and a link to sign up as well.
Yes, we have our HHP admitted. If you want to come to campus and visit, we have our specific major HHP admitted students Friday on February 21st. We also have the Pirates Aboard, which is ECU admitted students Day, March 29th. And so we will be available both those days. I know the HHP admitted students day, you will be, so the admitted students day, is that already next Friday, the 21st? Okay. Oh, wow. So it's going to be, I know. So in the morning, you'll be with ECU admissions. You'll be doing a tour of campus, going to some different financial aid and scholarships. Some of those offices are going to be talked in. And then after lunch, you're going to meet at the main campus student center. We're going to do a little welcoming for our college. And then from there, you'll get on buses and we will take you to whatever major you're interested in. So if you're interested in exercise physiology or physical education, we'll put you on the bus to go to Minji's, and then from there, there'll be a brief presentation similar to this one, but then you'll also get the chance to actually tour some of the kinesiology labs that Dr. Poulos and Dr. Fredrickson were talking about. And thank you, Denasia, for putting that in there. Are there going to be pre-PT majors involved with this admitted students day? Yes, Kendall will be there. And like she mentioned, she recently got accepted into the physical therapy program. Now, this HHP admitted students day is specific to our college. So pre-professional advising will not be there, grad programs will not be there, but they will be at the Pirates Aboard ECU admitted students day, Saturday, March 29th. That's a little bit on a bigger scale. Well, we will be hanging around for a few more minutes in case you guys do have any other questions, but I just want to thank you all for being here. Thank you for your time. And just thank you so much to Dr. Poulos, Dr. Fredrickson, Kendall, Drew, Denasia, and Vanessa. Thank you so much. I just had to make a hybrid of your name for coming, and we really, really appreciate it.